I ate fruit and got a zit, so I'm traveling to another planet to get better fruit. So listen to this one. Last month, I gave one of my teeth to God. He needed it. Then I went on antibiotics to clear up the infection. A side benefit of the antibiotics seemed to be that my skin cleared and I was immune to anything. So like I'm enjoying teenage baby boy skin, and it's like, hey, high carb, sugar's not the problem after all. You're not diabetic, you're just bored. So I've been drinking nothing but green smoothies, basically, buckwheat based, with minor amounts of sweetness from dates for like 3 weeks. And everything's been going great. Went to Ottawa, did that for Christmas, came back, no cheat meals. And then I had some persimmons and bananas. I bought a bunch of them before I left. And so the day after I come home from Ottawa, instead of making the smoothies, I decide this is gonna be my first meal. I can actually chew now, I think. So I had a persimmon mono meal. And then the dinner was a smoothie, but banana based instead of buckwheat. In 4 days, my forehead yelled, it yodeled. I heard it in the Swedish mountains, and it started coming out, and I was like, sugar, anyone? Listen to this theory. For some reason, I have no problems with buckwheat grains. When it comes to my skin, it's a different type of sugar. It's glucose mostly. It's soft. It's slow. Sugar is spiky. It's fructose. It's angry. It feeds things in my body. So while on antibiotics, all those things were dead. But now that I'm off them, they're coming back to life, eating things in my body and pooing out of my forehead into a Swedish mountain. Now there's a slight chance that I'm wrong with this theory that fruit caused the zits 4 days later. And like that theory will now lead me into some bullshit path that is so wrong it's not even funny, and corkscrews happen and I end up eating pig guts raw. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I could be wrong, and that's the problem here, I'm guessing. But I've noticed in the past, it can take up to 7 days for zits to still come out if you're reacting to something. I've done it. I've done that 21-day water fast. I was still breaking out in acne on day 6, and then it stopped. So like whatever I was eating before that, the raw lamb meat, it was like not good. So that's what can make it so confusing when you're trying to figure out what's making my skin break out, but you're eating a wide variety of foods and you're changing them all the day, eating your balanced diet. Why don't you just eat a balanced? Because of shit like this, and you can't figure anything out. So everything was going smoothly, and I'm just gonna run with the theory that it was the fruit. Hybridized bananas, the polyphenol oxidase in the bananas killing my antioxidants. Could be that. Or just like sugar in general, fructose, FODMAPs. I'm looking at you. So like I'm just going back to grain-based, smoothie-based, and so far no new eruptions happen. Usually when the forehead stuff, it just keeps getting worse and worse, like beams of SOS technology. So right now, I think I halted it in its tracks because it was the fruit. And so now that leads me to this place where I want to eat food again one day. I'm doing just the smoothies. I'm getting a little sick of them, if we're being honest. It's not natural. I should be able to chew, but I feel like I have to be a raw vegan. But if you're grain-based, what are you going to eat? What the hell meal is that? You're going to eat a bowl of sprouted buckwheat? Flavored with what? Tomatoes? Salt? Poison? You spelt salt wrong. Like, what could you even make? It's not a natural diet. If you're just using common sense, it'd be like, fruits make sense. They're easy to eat on their own raw. Vegetables are tasty too. I don't mind broccoli raw. Just chew it. Isn't it yummy? I add some to my smoothies. I'll take a bite first for the pleasure. It's good. So fruits and vegetables, yeah, okay. Nuts and seeds, yeah, they're minorly good, but they weigh you down. But it's a weird place to be where like raw grains are healing me in the smoothies. If I want to eat them in a meal, Just the texture, everything about it screams, what the hell is that? That's not a natural food. You're gonna eat that? I don't know how to do it. It's the texture and the lack of flavor. And then I'm not one to flavor my stuff. I don't need garlic and onions and salt and all these spicy things. Like plain meals, like boiled potatoes, yeah, they're better with hot sauce, they are, but they're still pretty edible boiled, plain. And when I was cooking the grains, no problem. It's like plain with veggies and nori. But what kind of irony is it that the raw food that's healing you tastes like worms or something bad, like you're not enjoying it? It makes no sense. And even if it did heal you, who would follow it? Who's buying my ebook when I write it? You can eat raw grains, sprouted grain-based. Oh my God, you ever try buckwheat sprouts? Yeah, that's what killed my dog. Like, they're not good. This sucks. This diet sucks, but it's so healing, potentially, if the sugar was the cause 4 days later. I think we can all agree it was. So these are the thoughts that go through my mind 100 miles a minute, and just wondering what I'm going to eat. Like, I'm still doing the smoothie cleanse, and it's still working, and it's still like, I drink my smoothie in the morning, make a couple videos, go do some stuff, do whatever, and then dinner is another smoothie, and it's okay. It's pretty good. Like, I'm used to it. It's not like super dopamine rush fun. It's not like a nice comforting starch meal like I was doing. I'm just kind of afraid to like add cooked food. I don't want to do it because my skin was so perfect, but then it did break out, but it was the fruit, as we've all agreed to. So like, if I have to keep doing smoothies for the rest of my life just to have baby boy skin, I'll do it. But like, eating was fun too, but there's no food. There's nothing to eat. The world is wrong. I think around February or March, the mangoes start coming in, the Atulfo mangoes, and it's like, okay, I should be able to start adding fruits, and then it makes sense. We're doing just like one fruit meal, one grain-based smoothie. I could do that. But like, if fruits are removed from the equation, this is the worst diet on earth. Right now, I've removed dates just as a theory, to remove all fruit, and I'm sweetening the smoothies with the stevia drops. Wow, this is getting weird. This is getting weird. Oh boy, I could sustain it. I'm not going to be carnivore in 3 weeks. You're ridiculous, your theories. You saw the rash. I'm not going back to that. Carnivore. You're ridiculous. Raw carnivore. You think that's my next? You're insane. You lost your mind. You don't even know me at all. Ridiculous, your theories. So that's where I am. I'm eating bullshit, and it's somewhat healing. How you doing? You thumbing up the video? That's cool. You could thumb the video down, but it's likely because you made a tie out of grasshoppers. Who's that supposed to impress? You went to a wedding with it? You think you were allowed in? They took your gift and you were kicked out because you smell like grasshopper meat. Insects are not here for us. Bitcoin is, though. Just flip it on into my wallet. I'll tell you that much. What's the solution? Tell me. Subscribe for more understanding.